Good evening, and welcome into tonight's show of Against the Clock, your variety sports talk show where we take 3 topics and debate those topics for 90 seconds each. This is also our first episode of the spring 2019 semester, so welcome back. I'm your host, Sarah Jones, joined by Corey Zimmerman and Matt Marvin. Well, guys, there is a lot going on in the sports world. There's a lot to talk about. I will not waste any time. Let's kick it off to topic number 1. Oh, how this MLB season has been an interesting one for sure. 2 players headlining free agency are stud franchise players Manny Machado and Bryce Harper. Both have yet to sign with a team, with spring training starting just this week. Both players are looking for large contracts on the ends of an 8 to 10-year deal worth around $300 million. My question to you guys is, where do you guys see these players landing and at what price?
Well, I mean, you're absolutely right, Sarah. It's been an interesting offseason for sure. Not many moves. It's really come down to Machado and Harper. They have to make their moves so that way everyone else can make theirs. The Yankees have made a couple moves. They probably have the best bullpen in all of MLB now. But for me, with these 2 players, Machado, he's been linked to the White Sox all offseason. I think there's a really good chance that he'll go there. But he's also been linked to the Phillies. The Phillies want at least one of those 2 guys, and I think they get Bryce Harper, but Harper this week has been linked to San Francisco. Those players are going to get large contracts, 6, 7, 8 years. I don't think it's going to be a 10-year deal. These guys are 25 and 26. They're young. They're talented. They got a lot of baseball to be played.
Yeah, Corey, I think you're right. Both these guys are going to end up getting their money one way or another. Just is going to depend on who wants to pay it. I do agree with you. I think I could see Machado ending up with the White Sox, and Harper could go. I've heard Giants or Phillies. I think it really just depends on if the Phillies want to take that kind of risk. They're not getting both of them. I think it would be more likely Harper, though.
Well, and even the Phillies, they went all in getting JT Realmuto. I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name. I probably am, but he's an all-star catcher. Got traded from the Marlins to the Phillies. The Phillies are going all in. They want a championship right away, and adding Harper will complete the puzzle, I think.
Kick it off to topic number 2. Kareem Hunt, the former Kansas City Chiefs running back, was recently picked up by the Cleveland Browns on a 1-year deal worth around $700K. If you remember, he was released from Kansas City after a video surfaced from TMZ of him pushing and kicking a woman. Many teams were interested in Hunt, but with him being on the commissioner's exempt list, many teams passed up on him. Guys, my question is, for Cleveland, is this a smart move to make?
Well, I think for the Browns, they're really trying to build. They had a great finish to the year once they brought in Baker Mayfield and let him play and run the offense. I think Kareem Hunt, from the football aspect, is obviously a great pickup. He's young. He's one of the best young running backs in the NFL. But you also have to look at the issues off the field. It's really a judgment call, and the Browns obviously took the chance. Let's hope that it's not bad for them.
This could be a steal for the Browns. Jim Dorsey said over the weekend that they did extensive research on the whole situation and everything. Jim Dorsey actually drafted Kareem Hunt while he was in Kansas City, and then just a few years ago went to Cleveland, and he's trying to build a culture. I'm not sure if Kareem Hunt is the culture you want to build, though. He's got a young, talented quarterback in Baker Mayfield. He's already got a really good running back in Nick Chubb, who a lot of people passed up on in the draft. I think Chubb is an all-pro running back in the future. And I think if Hunt is cleared to play by Commissioner Roger Goodell at some point, that's a 2-headed monster you have in the backfield. And then you have Baker Mayfield, who's going to develop into his second year and be, I think, also a Pro Bowl quarterback.
I think if worse comes to worse, it won't kill the Browns to not have Kareem Hunt.
And with a deal, $700,000, you're not really investing a whole lot in this player, especially on a 1-year deal as well.
All right, that is 90 seconds. Let's kick it off to our final topic. With the NBA trade deadline now over as of last Thursday, there are some teams that move themselves into better positions to make a deep playoff run come April and May. The Western Conference is still highlighted by several teams, including Golden State, Houston, and Oklahoma City. However, in the East, things are still left wide open. Guys, Who are your winners and losers from the trade deadline as now we approach the NBA All-Star Weekend?
I think your biggest winner, and they're not even probably going to make the playoffs this year, is the Dallas Mavericks. For sure, no one's really talked about them. Getting Kristaps Porzingis from the Knicks didn't really give up a whole lot. Got rid of DeAndre Jordan and his huge contract. Got rid of Dennis Smith Jr., who wasn't really fitting into the system in Dallas. Luka Doncic is a stud. I mean, a stud. And he even came out last week and said it's a lot easier to play in the NBA than in Europe. The Mavericks, I think, won this. The Lakers, I think, are the big losers. They didn't get Anthony Davis. I know Pelicans weren't really working with them a whole lot, but Lakers, if you want a championship, Magic Johnson, I know he wants a championship with LeBron there, and I'm sure LeBron wants to win a title before he retires, and I don't think it's going to happen.
I would agree that the Lakers are big losers, not necessarily because they did get Anthony Davis now, but I think with the timing, LeBron's still the greatest player in the NBA, but he will eventually, get to the end, and they have to do something fast. And the way they've been losing games following this, they're not looking like they're going to do anything this year. And I agree with Dallas. I think that's something that won't even be talked about until maybe Porzingis plays, but that's going to be an unbelievable duo.
I think Toronto even made an interesting move adding Marc Gasol, a veteran, the younger brother of Paul Gasol. Toronto's a good team. They have a really good team, and they're going to have to face some good competition. And the 76ers, who added Tobias Harris, that's probably something we should talk about. But I don't think it's a headlining move. But Toronto's going to have to go up against Milwaukee, 76ers, and Boston. Boston didn't make any moves at the deadline, but with Kyrie, his pending free agency, that's something you probably don't want to go all in.
I think once Toronto fills out their bench, they might have the best shot. I think the Gasol move was the best move made in the East for sure.
All right, we could go on and on all day, but our time is up here. That is all we have this week. Join us again in 2 weeks to discuss more breaking topics in the sports world, only here on Against the Clock.